everyone, I have a clubbing makeup tutorial for you today. Now there's plenty to do, so I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to start off with my Natio Glow Skin Brightening Face Balm. It's a moisturiser and primer in one, I think, and it just adds a glow to your skin that sits well under your foundation, and it smells lovely. I'm then going to go in with my Dr. Lewins foundation in Ivory. I'm just going to pump a little bit on the back of my hand, dot it over my face, and then buff that in with my Real Techniques buffing brush. Now this is quite a new foundation for me. I've only had it a little while. It's quite high coverage, but it's a very buildable foundation, so you have to kind of put it on in layers. So this first layer won't be enough for the full coverage that I'd want for a night out. So I will be adding a little bit more later. I'm just buffing that in so it's all nice and even in small circular motions and getting that all over my face and into my hairline. Now I've showed you how to contour before in my videos, but this is a slightly different way of doing it. This is going to be a more intense contour, so it's going to be more suitable for clubbing. I'm taking a little foundation brush and a darker foundation than my skin tone, a lot darker actually. This is Illamasqua's Skin Base in the shade 12, and I'm usually 3.5, so that's quite a big difference. And I'm just painting on a line of that foundation directly under my cheekbone. I'm also going to take that around my hairline, just how I do with my normal contour, and around my nose and along my bottom lip. I know it looks a bit scary right now, but once it's all blended out, it will just look so natural and flawless that this is definitely my most favourite way to do contouring. If the idea of painting on a really dark foundation on your skin scares you, try using a foundation that's only a few shades darker than your normal skin tone, because this will help at least define the face and give it a tiny bit of shape without giving you too much blending work to do. Now take a clean foundation brush and start blending that contour into the rest of the foundation. Now this can take a little while depending on the foundation that you're using. Just keep at it so it looks as natural and flawless as possible. When doing this, try and keep the darker foundation in the same sort of area. Don't blend it all over the face, otherwise you're going to lose that definition. So just blend it in small circular motions in the area that you placed it originally. Once that's nice and blended, I'm going to go in with my Dr. Lewins foundation again and just place that on the high points of my face or where I think I need a tiny bit more coverage. As I said at the beginning, this is a very buildable foundation and I need a slightly bit more coverage from it, so I'm just adding a tiny little bit more but avoiding that contour area still to keep that slightly darker. Now it's time to start on the eyes. This is the Maybelline Colour Tattoo. This is the silver one. This is going to help your eyeshadows stay in place. It's going to act as a base, giving it something to cling to so it doesn't crease and move throughout the night of you dancing away. You just want to take a little bit of that on your finger and run that across your lid where you'll be putting the eyeshadow on later. Now this is one of the most important steps of a dark smoky eye, especially when using black eyeshadows. Now this is my bronzer and a big fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to work that into my crease area and upwards towards the brow, but not too high because I'll be using a highlighter directly under the brow later. Now this is going to give the really dark colours something to blend into so they all transition out as naturally as possible and there's no harsh lines. Now I'm taking this eyeshadow quad from Rimmel, but the great thing about this tutorial is you can use anything that's similar. There are loads of alternatives on the high street that have slightly different colour selections, but they will all work just as well. So I'm going to take the lightest colour which is the silver in this palette, and run that over the entire eyelid where I put the Maybelline Colour Tattoo. You then want to go in with the second lightest colour. This is a lilac-y colour in my palette, and place that on the very outer corner. Now I've done this on a diagonal line going towards my lash line and then blending that over the outer third of my eye. This will just slowly give my eye a little bit of depth and something for the even slightly darker colours to blend into. I'm then going in with the second darkest shade and placing that right into the crease and the very outer corner of my eye, patting it on so I can get the best colour intensity as I can. Now, as you can see, I get quite a bit of fallout from these eyeshadows, so you could use some tissue paper and hold that underneath to catch the fallout, or you can just wipe it away, which is what I'm going to do a little bit later. Now the key to a smoky eye is slowly building up the colour, so you just want to keep on adding, blending, adding and blending until it's as dark and as tense as you want it. I'm then taking this tapered brush from Real Techniques and the shimmery black colour in the palette, and in very small circular motions adding that to the outer corner of the eye. Now blacks do take a lot of work and blending, especially matte ones if you're using matte, but you just need to keep at it, keep adding and blending until you have it as dark and as smoky as you want it. Now when I'm doing a really dark, intense, smoky eye, I like to take my black eyeshadow quite far out, so it's almost like a wing. I find that suits my eye shape best. It's slightly hooded so you can see much more of the colour that's going on, but play around with your eyeshadows maybe one day and find out what shape and looks suit your eye shape best. Now the eyeshadow is looking very harsh at the moment, so I'm going to take the big fluffy blending brush and blend out that top line of eyeshadow just so it's not as harsh. You then want to put a tiny little bit of bronzer onto that big fluffy blending brush like we did before, and slowly blend that into the darker black eyeshadow. Now this is going to make that line a lot softer, and it's going to make the whole look a lot more smokier and more just perfected. Then it's time to start on the bottom lash line. Now I'm going to take the lightest colour again and run that the entire length of my bottom lash line, concentrating a lot of the colour onto the inner corner so it brightens up my eye a little bit. Then go in with the second lightest colour, this is on an angled brush by the way, and apply that on the outer 2/3 of the eye, blending that downwards and into that first silver colour. Then take the second from darkest shade and apply that to the outer third of the eye. And then last but not least, take the black on the very outer corner of the eye, joining that black eyeshadow to the top as well. This will tie the whole eye together and make it a lot more finished and smoky looking. And then on a slightly smaller blending brush, take the bronzer and just lightly run that underneath the eye as well. This will help blend out those bottom shadows so they're also not as harsh. Now it's time to do my brows. I'm just going to fill them in how I usually do. I'm not going to bore you with the facts, I'm just filling them in with a dark brown eyeshadow and an angled brush. Now because I've already got a lot of shimmer on my eyes, I'm going to highlight with a matte cream colour underneath my brow. Now I lost a lot of this footage, so this might seem a bit rushed, but I'm contouring with my Sleek Light Contour Kit. This is just to intensify that foundation that I previously used, and to set it in place to stop it from moving throughout the night. I'm then going to highlight underneath my eyes generously with my Lumiere Magique highlighter from L'Oreal. and on my Cupid's bow, and blend that in with my ring finger just to brighten up underneath my eyes because there's loads of dark eyeshadow. I'm then going to take this amazing eyeliner from Stila. It's one of their smudge proof sticks in Stargazer, and thinly line my lash line. Now this eyeliner does not budge, so it's amazing for nights out. I'm then going to apply that to my upper waterline to make my lash line look a lot thicker, and so no fleshy tones come through underneath my lashes. And then I'm also going to put that on the outer third of my bottom waterline just to define that a little bit more as well. I'm then going to take my favourite mascara. Now this is a new tube and it's the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes, and apply a generous coat of that to my lashes. And try not to do what I did here and put a blob of mascara on my face. Then go in with the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. Now this is an itty bitty mascara and it's so cute. Just to define them bottom lashes, this mascara is great. It's smudge proof, so it won't smudge throughout the night, so you won't look like a panda. Then to set the makeup and prevent any oil or shine coming through throughout the night, which is not attractive, I'm going to take the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Powder and set all that under eye concealer to stop it from creasing. I'm going to take it on the end of my nose, around my nose, on my forehead and on my chin, anywhere where I regularly get shine really, and just to prevent the makeup from moving around my face. Then for blusher, I'm going in with Sleek's Suede Blusher. Now this is a gorgeous neutral tone blusher, so it's not going to be too much colour, and I'm just going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks and blend that upwards into the contour. Then for the lips, I'm going in with Rimmel's Apocalyptic Lip Lacquer. You can see that the doe foot has a little well in the middle, which holds a lot of the product, so it's very easy to apply. This is in the shade Apocalyptic. It's a red toned pink, which is beautiful, and I'm just going to apply that directly to the lips without a lip liner because it is very easy to apply. However, you can easily go over the top with this and apply too much product and then it will go over your teeth, so maybe blotting in between applications would be beneficial. Then the last thing to do is highlight. This is Pink Quartz from Bobbi Brown, but Collection and Revlon do a very similar version of this, and I'm going to highlight my forehead, down the centre of my nose and on the tops of my cheekbones. And that is the finished look. I hope you liked it. It's very suitable for clubbing. It's very dark, very smoky, very sexy. And if you did like it, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!